Guys, how are you? It's been a week. It's been spring break. So I've been taking it easy, quiet, relaxing. Also doing a lot of meditations. I was a person who did not meditate before when I was younger because I was too hyper. Like I couldn't do yoga. Yoga for me was too still. I hope this can see because this is coming dark and light and dark and light. So I have been always looking because I'm a person who is conscious, and I know you might say everybody's conscious, but I'm talking about I'm aware of my surrounding, I'm aware of who I am, I'm aware of my life, and I'm aware of other people. I think that a lot of people walk through life and they don't really pay attention to the details in their life. They just live to live, robotic. Now, I'm a person who's content where I am in life. Um, and it's not that I have this great position or I have all this money. Actually, I have a very much of an average life, and that's what makes it great. It makes it great because I'm lucky that I was born in a country at a time, because there's also the year that I was born, that allow me to be myself, to make the choices I want to make. And whatever I have right now, wherever I'm at right now, is thankfully it's been because of the choices I have made. Of course, it also has to do with my background and the person, and who where I come from, and the social status that I was born in. But I know that there are people born in other countries, and especially women, who don't have much choices. They don't have um, things that they cannot make their own life. They have to follow a certain pattern. They have to follow a certain lifestyle because it's imposed by society to them. And because of that, I've always read a lot and searched into trying to understand life. Now, I don't think I completely have understood life yet, mastered it. None of us is born with a book telling us how to live. And the people who were raising us, most of them didn't know what they were doing either. So we have to rely upon philosophers, religious people. We have to rely on what's out there, what's written, what other people have observed to learn. Because you can learn from other people's mistake and not make those same mistakes. You can avoid mistake. That's something that I learned. You don't have to learn it the hard way. And the hard way is experiencing yourself, you know. And having said that, I'm not a theist person, so I don't believe in a God. Um, I don't know that there is a God out there, or that there's plenty of God, or that there is no God. I just don't believe that there is I, one God that controls everything, the universe and everything. I don't think there's a personal deity that people try to believe in, thinking that their prayers and somehow their candles, their way of thinking is going to change. I mean, candles are great. They give you positive energy, and I do believe in energy, but not because you light a candle, something is going to happen to you. What you want is going to occur. You have to go out there and work for it. You have to go out there and try to get it in order to accomplish that. Now, could the light, the candle, make you feel better? Of course. Can it make you relax? Can it make you think better? Can it make you at least come up with solutions to any problems that you have? Certainly. It can lead to that. Um, and in between reading philosophies, some of them that I had to learn in school because, I went to high school and you have to learn these things, but also because I liked it, because my one of my favorite subject was history. And now that I'm older and that I have read much more, I know that all the history that I thought I knew and that I had learned, it was just dates and vacuous settings, vacuous information, because the nitty gritty information, like many people, I was not given that. I didn't know about Christopher Columbus, who he really was, until I got out of high school when I found out all the torturing that he did, you know. And I'm pretty sure the indigenous people pray to someone. They have someone to believe. And I know for a fact that Christopher Columbus prayed, that he was a believer, yet he committed such atrocities. And everything that he did, he thought that he was given the right to do it by his God. People have been trying to understand life since, I guess, the first man had a rational thinking. That's another thing too that I find interesting, the missing link. Now we know now, or at least some of us know now, that we don't come directly from the ape, that that's not the way it worked, that we are cousins to the ape. We also know that some of us have Neanderthals, so even though that species disappeared completely, they did mix, and we are products of them, but there's a missing link that they haven't been able to find. And people, things that I read out there, people believe that we might be ET. We might be half ET. Maybe Jesus, and by the way, today is Easter Day. That's what they were talking about. But you see, the story of Jesus was also, the Egyptians also had it, and the Greeks had it. There was always that mixed myth of God and human. And that could have been an ET. That could have been a Martian. Maybe Mars was Earth before. And those people were there to destroy their planet, and they had to leave and migrate to another planet. Similar one, planet Earth. There were already people living here. They were Neanderthal, and maybe this missing link are those Martians that just connected. But I mean, that's crazy stuff. I don't know. Anyhow, the point is that throughout life, people have been trying to understand life, understand what is this, what are we living, what is the purpose of this. A lot of us have come to the understanding that the purpose of life is the purpose that we give it, because life is accidental. Life is randomness. There was no superior intelligence saying, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to have this human, we're going to have these animals, we're going to have that water, and then we're going to have all these empty planets around it, but we just going no. This is randomness. And that there are planets like ours, I believe that there are out there. Um, like ours. Not exactly like ours, but I mean like humans like us, human looking people like us that are living in other planets. So, when I was younger and I used to study history, and then read it for my own entertainment, I always went back to the Greek philosophers, Aristotle's, Socrates. It amazes me. Marco Aurelius, he lived, and I had to calculate that because I Googled it and they wouldn't tell me how long has it been since he was alive. He died in 180 after Christ. So that meaning it was a good thing that it was the AC, or the DC in Spanish. I think is DCAC. Yeah, AC in English. The point is that before that, I would have had to add those years and then subtract it to the total of the year that went from zero to the 2021. But I only had to subtract 180 years from 2021 because I couldn't find it on Google. Can you believe that? They will give me all the information about Marcus Aurelius, but not the one. How long had he been alive? And he had been alive since he died in 180. So it's been 1,841 years since he existed. And this man, who is the most known one of Stoicism, he wasn't the one that started it. By the way, I've been not only listening to these quotes, but I also been reading more into it. I ordered a book on Amazon. I have been studying is Sino, uh, I think it's Sino, yeah, Sino from of Sino. Citron of Sino, or Sino of Citron, was the first one, the first Stoic, and he was a slave. And then you got no, he wasn't a slave. I'm sorry, he was. a very rich guy, by the way. Yeah, he lost money in the ocean. He had some problem, and I think he heard a philosopher. He was born after Aristotle, that's for sure. The point is that he started using these philosophies that he listened to, but he started enhancing it with his own ideas. And there was born Stoicism. Now, Epictetus and Mark Aurelius are very well known. There's some Aristotle and Socrates have some quotes that they associate with Stoicism, but they were not Stoic. The ones that were Stoic for sure was that Zeno. I'm saying Zeno, and I'm hoping that I'm saying it right. And then the other guys, Epictetus and Mark Aurelius. And I want to listen with you guys, share these quotes that I listen to almost on a daily basis. I almost know them already by heart because I listen to them so many times. So if you see me mumbling or saying it out loud, it's because I have heard it so many times. And it's only a 4 minutes. I already been 11 minutes talking because I'm a talker. So let's listen to it. So this could be at least 5 more minutes, right?
When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy,
One
to
of the quotes
love.
that I remember when a co-worker of mine committed suicide. Oh, okay, still there. I hope you still saw me. But anyhow, a co-worker of mine committed suicide, and I was listening to my morning quotes, and this one came on, and I was like, that's the first thing I thought about him and his death. Yes, I was alive. He's gone. He chose to end his life. And I was going through similar problems as he was, but I can't, I don't know. I don't know, but I am grateful that I'm still here. I'm happy that I'm still here. And it is a privilege. It is a privilege to be alive. We don't know what's afterwards. It could be better. It could be. We don't know. Or it could be nothing. It could be what we all think it is. Nothingness. So to enjoy these conscious moments is a joy and be able to enjoy life.
The happiness of your life depends upon the
The
quality of your
happiness of your life
thoughts.
depends upon the quality of your thoughts. That's a very good quote for people with good mental health, with healthy mental health. But that cannot be possible for people who suffer bipolar, depression, schizophrenia. Those people need medical attention. So they have to get help in order to be able to have quality in their thoughts. They gotta have quality. The thoughts have to have quality, but for them, in order to have that, and also addicts, they need to stop using. You can't have that unless you have a stable mental health.
Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look.
In any situation, I have to stop and
Do
watch
not
because
indulge.
every time I'm stopping, my camera is going to stop as well. And I'm already 14 minutes and 27 seconds into this. That's because I talked so much before. But yeah, look well into thyself. You know who says that too? But a little bit more, but more 2020. And even though he didn't come out with that song, Eminem didn't come out with that song in 2020 or 2021. He came out with that song about what, 20 years ago? I think it was 20 years ago. But he said the same thing that this guy said 1,841 years ago. The strength is within you. Nobody can help you. That's the problem. That's the problem and that's the solution. The problem is because we think that it's out there, that the help is going to be in the next city. Trust me, I know that's not true because I have lived in many cities. And wherever I go, there I was. Wherever I went, there I was. So, problem came along with me, and the solutions were always within me. Yeah. And if you fall, people can give you a hand to help you get up. But at the end, you're the one who has to reach out. You have to reach out, give out that hand, help me.
Indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but to reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours.
Walk.
The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the
That is
ranks of
an
the
interesting
insane.
quote. Very interesting quote. I find that one. Uh, it's not to be on the side, and we all try to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Escape finding yourself in the ranks of the addicts, active addicts. Escape finding yourself in the ranks of the bitter. Escape finding yourself in the ranks of the suicidal, homicidal. Escape finding yourself in those situations because of randomness. If it happened to someone, it can happen to you. It can happen to all of us. Until we're not 6 feet under, we're still open to it. Can still happen, good or bad.
Here is a rule to remember in future when anything tempts you to feel bitter. Not, this is misfortune, but to bear this worthily is good
That
fortune.
is an interesting quote.
Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny.
Now that is an interesting quote that he just said there. Uh, yeah, because the goal of stoicism is to domesticate your emotions, to control them, and not to let them go off rants. So when you're going through a little problem, instead of getting crazy when it's little, that moment try to control this. You start doing that with the little problems, eventually you can do it with the big ones. You can take that step back and let it process, let it hit you, digest it. Don't succumb. So, and this is something that even people who are not stoic practice this. I remember watching one of those channels where they have people Jubilee, I think that's what it's called. And there was this lady, they were trying to find a common ground between uh I think it was boomers and Generation Z, but African Americans. And there was this lady who was talking about how she had lost her son um, to a violent act, to a violent crime. And she said that you have to gain control of your mind. You have to gain control of your situation. If you gain control of your mind, you can control your emotions. You can control anything out here if you can control this. And you need to. You have to do it for survival skill. It's not oh, this is what do you call this? A happy thought. Oh, this is something that I want to live by. No, this is something that I have to do, like drinking water, like breathing.
Is good fortune. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you.
And a good practice too.
To live a good life, we all have the potential for it if we learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference.
And again, it's one of my favorite ones because I like play on words, you know. I like that. Like in the other one that said, uh, this to weather this with is good fortune. Playing on the word fortune, now they do it here with indifferent and what makes no difference. To be indifferent to what is indifferent, but it's a play on word. To be indifferent to what makes no difference. And what is something that makes no difference? It's indifferent. Isn't it cool?
Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live
Okay,
it
I
properly.
am going to stop this right here because I see it's already going on 20 minutes and I don't think that you guys have the patience to watch so much. So I just wanted to upload a video because I got to keep providing content. And the next one, hopefully, is going to be Eurythmic. I want to do the song Sweet Dreams. Hopefully, they won't block it. Thank you. And if you're new to this channel, if you bump into it, give it a like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.